2023. Whereas 481 years ago, the rediscovery of this family of islands, rocks and keys, heralded the rebirth of the New World. And whereas the people of this family of islands, recognizing that the preservation of their freedom will be guaranteed by a national commitment to self-discipline, industry, loyalty, unity, and an abiding respect for Christian values and the rule of law. Now know ye therefore, we the inheritors of and successors to this family of islands, recognizing the supremacy of God and believing in the fundamental rights and freedoms of the individual, do hereby proclaim in solemn praise the establishment of a free and democratic sovereign nation founded on spiritual values and in which no man, woman or child shall ever be slave or bondsman to anyone, or their labor exploited, or their lives frustrated by deprivation, and do hereby provide by these articles for the indivisible unity and creation under God of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Approaching. Good morning, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis, and this is the Morning Edition. And as always, it's so great to have you waking up with us. A high-pressure ridge will generate fresh breezes over the islands today, but for more on your weather outlook heading into 2020, here's Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean.
This weather report is sponsored by Bank of the Bahamas, the bank of solutions.
Good morning, LaDawn. That area of high pressure will begin sliding towards the east later on today, and that will lead to some reduction in the winds as a cold front is heading our way as well. We'll tell you all about that later in the newscast, so do stay tuned. But outside of our studios, we're under near clear skies with a temperature of 72 degrees. The relative humidity quite rich at 93%. The winds out of the north at 2 miles per hour. Your barometric pressure 1,016.7 millibars. That's 30.02 inches, and it is steady. Temperatures around the islands this morning: 72 degrees in Marsh Harbor, Abaco, Green, Tulkey, and Freeport reporting 75. The Berry Islands at 76. Also in Allenstown, Bimini, 76 degrees. 76 in Harbor Island, Roxanne, Eleuthera, Otterstown, Cat Islands, 75. 76 again in Samuel Key, Kemps Bay, South Andros, and Fresh Creek in Central Andros. In San Salvador and Rum Key, 75 degrees, 77 in Ragged Island, Clarence Sound, Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, Acklands, and Matchitown, Inagua, the Turks and Caicos Islands at 78 degrees. And if you're flying out there this morning, well, here's some high and low temperatures you're likely to find at some of your favorite cities. Going to do it for your travel forecast. Now for your boating forecast for today in the northwest and central islands. The winds will be southeast to south at 10 to 15 knots by afternoon. The wave heights down 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. High tide takes place at 10:31 this morning, with your low tide occurring at 5:01 in the afternoon. Now for the southeast Bahamas, the winds are a little stiffer out of the east to southeast at 12 to 18 knots. Wave heights 3 to 6 feet with a moderate chop. And that's going to do it for your first look at weather in the morning edition. Stay tuned. Your forecast for today and tonight is still ahead.
Thanks a lot, Basil. Meanwhile, our Kelsey Johnson and the Morning Edition team is standing by with the Bahamas First traffic report.
The traffic report is sponsored by Bahamas First. First in insurance. Today, tomorrow.
Good morning, LaDawn. Good morning, Bahamas. We're here on Shirley Street, not too far from Parliament Street. Now, I just want to remind the general public that the traffic lights on Parliament Street and East Street were removed. We want to make sure that persons traversing this particular corridor do so with caution and care, especially those who have to cross the Shirley Street intersection from Parliament Street heading north or south. You can only head north from East Street, so we want you guys to be extremely careful when crossing that particular corridor. Now, we also want to remind you guys about the road closures and that will be coming up this new year, as well as the road works that will be taking place on Nassau Street in between Boyd Road and Poinciana Avenue. Like I just said, the traffic lights on Parliament Street and East Street were removed, so we want you guys to be extremely careful and cautious while traversing this particular corridor. We'll send it back to you in the studio, LaDawn.
Stay close, we've got more right after this.
Shopping made easy right at your fingertips with the #1 online grocery shopping app in the Bahamas. You can now order online from a variety of trusted brands and at the best prices in town. Once you place your order, our team will gather it, package it, and deliver it. So no more wasting time at the grocery store. Get the best online grocery shopping and delivery experience with the push of a button. Fast shipping anywhere in the Bahamas and free delivery anywhere in Nassau with a minimum purchase. Download the app today.
Hi, welcome to Dream Girls. We offer a wide variety of hair care, and your everyday beauty needs.
Here at Dream Girls, we carry a wide variety of products for natural or relaxed hair, such as ORS, Care, and Shea Moisture. We also carry a large selection of weaving, braiding, and crochet hair. You can expect to find a private wig room, a large variety of products, and service with a smile. Whether you're shopping for a party, a corporate event, or your everyday working woman, Dream Girls can make your dream become a reality. Live your dream, experience your dream, Dream Girls.
We have 3 convenient locations to serve you: Village Road Shopping Center, Prince Charles Shopping Center, and Legacy Plaza located on Prince Charles next to BTC Cash and Go. Here at Dream Girls, enhancing beauty becomes your reality.
Prime Care's Doctors Hospital Primary and Preventative Care Service, based at a Doctors Hospital West outpatient facility on Blake Road, making it your one-stop shop for primary care services. Many people are familiar with going to their primary care doctor to treat colds, flus, cuts, and aches. However, Prime Care is all of that and more. Primary care for the whole family involves checkups and physicals, health monitoring and disease prevention, chronic disease management like hypertension, diabetes, high cholesterol, and asthma, mental health checkups, and so much more. Using Prime Care for your primary care needs ensures that in the event you need further care someday, you and your family are already registered patients in the Doctors Hospital Health System with a complete and accurate health record. Prime Care accepts all major insurances and NHI. If you've not enrolled in NHI, you can do so online or at our Doctors Hospital West location.
Say no.
Say no to violence against women.
It is only together as women and as men that we can stop violence against women. The Zonta Club of New Providence wishes to start the conversation and to encourage you to take action.
Many people grew up in households of violence. They watched their mothers do it, they watched their fathers do it, and they too were victims of violence. I was a victim of violence. I got help. You can get help too.
Say no to violence against women.
If you are the victim of violence, know that there is help available for you. If you are the perpetrator, know that it is not too late to change. Recognize the signs in others and yourself.
These include physical abuse, abusive language, and unhealthy behavior, financial abuse, and taking away privileges.
We need to have this conversation.
Say no to violence against women.
To our top story this morning, the Bahamian economy remains strong as the country recovers from Hurricane Dorian. Despite the tremendous impact sustained by Abaco and Grand Bahama, several surrounding islands have apparently stepped up to the plate and are reaping positive benefits. Governor of the Central Bank, John Roll, notes the way forward for the country and the efforts taken to maintain a steady economy.
The challenge for the Bahamas, which we had pointed to, was not just how the Bahamas recovered from the hurricane in terms of getting the damaged areas restored, but also how the Bahamas made up for lost business while those areas remained out of commission. And that would amount to whether places like Exuma, New Providence, and the other islands could attract business above and beyond what they normally would attract, because they're pulling in business that cannot go to Abaco. And I would say from the very short observations we've had of Exuma, there has been some success, and that lessens the blow in terms of the losses, because those areas will be rebuilt and they'll soon be back.
Meantime, Mr. Rose shared how Abaco is now surfacing from the hurricane.
There are parts of the Abacos and the Keys which are incredibly, are already very close to being back. And that's what we like to see. And on the mainland, we know that there are pockets of the tourism infrastructure that is being restored. It's very important, as we already have, to have the airport infrastructure there, because it feeds the entire ecosystem, and so having the airport there is good. We've started to see the financial institutions reestablish a presence. We have at least one of the commercial banks that's located in one of the food stores on the island.
Meantime, storm survivors that braved the wrath of Hurricane Dorian nearly 4 months ago in Marsh Harbor, Abaco, say they are deeply concerned over the pace of the cleanup efforts on that island. They say it seems to be slow in coming, but they remain hopeful that the government will continue to do what it can to make the island more attractive for Abaconians to start the rebuilding process. Area Member of Parliament Darren Hanfield says Hurricane Dorian was a catastrophic event, and he believes it will take some time before the island makes a full recovery.
In order for you to appreciate how far we've come, you would have had to have known Abaco before the hurricane, been here immediately after the hurricane, and then visited over time to see what we see here now. When I drive through the communities in Central Abaco, I know we have power restored in North Abaco from Blackwood all the way to Little Abaco, straight through Cooperstown. One of the things the Prime Minister determined to do, along with the Cabinet, was to jumpstart the Keys. Gorna Key, Hopetown, which is known as Elbow Key, Manawar Key. These keys are really where people go to work. The large preponderance of the people who live here in Central Abaco travel to these places to work, and we were hoping that they could catch a little bit of this season, and so the entire year would not be a loss. As you've seen, we've restored international flights to the airport, and that bodes well for the economy. Cartwright is open. Maxwell's is called, is open, I'm sorry. Maxwell is open, and if you walk into that store and you stay inside, you wouldn't think you were in a place where Dorian was just here on the 1st of September. So we're seeing a lot of bright spots. We're seeing a lot of small business people come back.
Now, to ensure that our borders are secured and law and order is kept on the island, particularly during the Yuletide season, Commander of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, Michael Simmons, says his team of Defense Force officers have beefed up their mobile patrols on the island and on the high seas.
We have worked along with the police in increasing our patrols. We have 107 persons on the Royal Bahamas Defense Force personnel. The police have about roughly 70. And we've been doing joint exercises 24/7 for the last 4 months.
You've been making any apprehensions?
We have been. We have mostly looting and robberies in the night. I think we've diminished it tremendously. And what the people wanted to see was presence on the ground, see their Defense Force officers, see their police officers while they're driving the streets and while they're moving about in the areas. And so we're attempting to bring the area and also the island back to normalcy.
As Abaco rebuilds, Exuma has welcomed an increased number of visitors and has seen additional airlift into the island in recent months. These positive turn of events bode well for the local economy. Administrator Ivan Ferguson sharing with ZNS News what led to the significant change on Exuma.
This is one of the premier touristic destinations in the country. And since the passage of Dorian in Abaco and Grand Bahama, we have seen a significant shift in the economy in a sense that more domestic businesses have increased, and I suspect that many of the businesses that we have seen increasing on the island is perhaps as a result of the devastation in Grand Bahama and Abaco. We have seen significant tourist arrival on the island. We have increased airlift, and that has resulted in a very busy tourist season.
Exuma is also seeing a change in its accommodation offerings, and a number of residents are said to be entering the sector to meet that request.
Airbnb is very popular on this island. As a result of its presence here and its popularity, there's a high or great demand for accommodations in Exuma. There are no more long-term rentals in Exuma. That is something that Exumians must take advantage of, building more accommodations to accommodate locals as well as international guests. This island is booming, and Exumians are taking advantage of this boom in tourism and domestic business.
Meanwhile, more feedback coming in the proposed increase in electricity bills for consumers of the Bahamas Power and Light Company. President of the Bahamas Christian Council, Bishop Delton Fernandez, commenting on the new energy generation push that will be provided from the Wärtsilä plant at BPL's Clifton Pier. He notes the impact of the new fee associated with the electricity rate reduction bond that will add an increase to utility bills in the coming months.
I think the challenge we're going to have is that there's a lack of understanding of how challenged Bahamians are in their finances, and power is a necessity. So any kind of increase that is going on the power bill, although it's necessary for the development of the country, you must remember the least amounts us just cannot afford it. And so these are going to be some of the challenging issues. How do you pay for our development? How do we move it from where it's at to where it needs to be? Yes, it's moving in the right direction, more generation, but I also need clarity in messaging. At first we said we borrowed the money, now we're saying we need to take the money from the people. We are listening, and we need some more information on what exactly is going on and what's the long-term plan.
Some new developments in the medical field, the breakthrough taking place over the weekend that is likely to impact many males locally who suffer from the side effects of diabetes. Antoinette Smith joins us live in the studio with the latest. Good morning again, Antoinette.
Thanks, LaDon. Well, according to the World Health Organization, about 150 million men worldwide suffer from erectile dysfunction. And a few weeks ago, our guest told you about an innovative procedure that's changing the lives of men who suffer from that impairment. So joining us live in studio once again is urologist Dr. Gregory Pinto. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So you have a little bit of good news for us. The procedure has been finally done locally. So can you update us about that and tell us how it's been?
Well, it's a state-of-the-art development in terms of the management of erectile dysfunction. So I've always had the message that you can always rise again, no matter what. There are tens of thousands of Bahamian men, unfortunately, that live in silence and in depression. They have a life that's devoid of happiness and poor self-esteem because they're not able to rise to the occasion. No matter what, if it's diabetes, if it's hypertension, if it's both, it's cardiovascular disease, so there's a strong correlation between erectile dysfunction and cardiovascular disease. So when you have erectile dysfunction, you have probably a 70% chance of having some element of heart disease in your lifetime. Even young men who have sickle cell disease, there are men in their late teens, early 20s, will never get an erection again because, unfortunately, of the plague of sickle cell disease. So we can always get you to rise again. So the device is self-contained. Your partner will not know that you have it. You can always rise to the occasion. This device also has the advantage that it can increase your girth and length by up to 25%. So you can go for many years and have no erection to basically having an erection as any time that you want, for as long as you want, and you'd be better and longer than you ever were before. So it changes the landscape considerably. So men who have given up hope, this is hope for them. And this is a joint effort with my cousin. So there are two Bahamian first cousins who are urologists. My cousin, Dr. Brian Davis Joseph, who's an assistant professor of urology at Columbia. He's joined Urology Care Bahamas. So we're here to not only for men with erectile dysfunction, so men, women, children, from premature babies to men and women in their 90s. We're going to provide state-of-the-art, world-class urological care right home in the Bahamas.
Your cousin was here with you recently,
yes,
where you guys performed that procedure.
And it's gone, and it went very well. So part of the procedure is you can determine that it's working intraoperatively and postoperatively, so it's working right away. So the men are ecstatic. Many of them have not had an erection in many, many years, and now they're in their full glory. So stop men living in silence. I'm here as part of Urology Care Bahamas, that we can give you confidential, comprehensive, state-of-the-art care for any urological problem. But we're trying to emphasize we're creating a world-class center, and this also involves medical tourism for erectile dysfunction. And it's an epidemic throughout the world. About 50% of 50-year-olds, 60% of 60-year-olds, so it goes up as you get older. So every man is going to face some amount of erectile dysfunction in their lifetime because of many illnesses such as diabetes or hypertension or sickle cell or heart disease. It can affect them even at a younger age.
Right. Now, this is a outpatient procedure, meaning that you can come in and
yeah,
and
so
do it.
it's anonymous. We use fake names. There's no paper trail. No one knows who you are. You come in, you get it done. There's minimal recovery. It's a minimally invasive procedure, and you're good to go.
How are your patients doing? What's the healing process like?
So there is minimal pain afterwards. You're actually cycling the device, so it's up and down as part of an exercise post-operatively, even from day one. But we want you to wait at least 4 weeks before actually partaking in the act.
So what is the wait list?
Oh, the numbers are increasing. So there's so many men in this country that didn't know that this was available to them. They have given up on ever having that part of their life. So these are many middle-aged men who have a partner that they both are going through this. So erectile dysfunction is something that couples go through. So this gives them both hope. It gives them a new lease on life. So you can always rise again. You can always have that part of your life back again where you're going to enjoy a satisfying sexual life.
And in terms of medical tourism, how is that working out?
Very well. So even there, the waiting list is increasing day by day. So what I'd like to impart is that you don't have to go away to get first world-class care for urology or any field in medicine. Bahamas has it. And you can have your anonymity. You can always rise again. Please do not give up hope. We're also rolling out low-intensity sound wave therapy. So if the Viagra's, the Cialis do not work, and I'd also like to stress, you need to treat the root cause of erectile dysfunction. And that can be numerous. But if you're poorly controlled diabetic hypertension, or you have heart disease or atherosclerosis, we need to treat that because that can affect every other organ of your body as well.
Well, world-class treatment for problems with erectile dysfunction is here right in the Bahamas. For more, you can research with Dr. Gregory Pinto at the Urology Care Center. That's it for now. Back to you in the studio, LaDon.
Thank you, Antoine. The Central Bank of the Bahamas taking a giant leap with the launch of its digital currency initiative. The Sand Dollar currency is now in operations. The project is a cashless digital system that will allow easy and convenient financial transactions. Governor of the Central Bank, John Roll, explains why the island of Exuma was selected for the launch.
We chose Exuma because we wanted to perfect the experience in one of the family islands where we know that there's not full access to financial services. And we also like the structure of Exuma with the keys, so it's a very scattered geography. It gives us the opportunity to experience what it is like to build out and rely on a communications infrastructure for payments transactions. We also want it to be physically separated from Nassau, where our IT systems are, because if we're providing services to Bahamas, we need to be able to provide the services to all of the communities remotely, and we need to be able to experience or to know that we've anticipated ways in which communicating with the peripheral versus the center could be challenged.
Now, according to the governor of the Central Bank, over the next several months, the project will be tested over in Exuma, but also branches out into other parts of the country.
The pilot will go on for 6 months. We'll focus more on Exuma. There's also a period during the pilot where we will be in Abaco, starting sometime in February. And again, it's building out the experience, getting the system more integrated with the rest of the banking and financial system. And after that point, by the middle of 2020, we expect to be in the position where we can begin to expand to the rest of the Bahamas.
'Tis the season of giving, and in the spirit, the Bahamas Feeding Network treated nearly 100 of its volunteers to lunch at the Humidor restaurant at Graycliff over the weekend. Jiminy DeSwain reports.
We wanted to say thank you to our volunteers who do an absolutely amazing job. Most of them come 4 to 6 days a week. They're not paid. We give them a stipend, so their motivation is not money, it is love.
Bahamas Feeding Network Executive Director Philip Smith speaking to the commitment of volunteers involved with the organization. The group was hosted to lunch Saturday at the Humidor restaurant at Graycliff. Just a week ago, those same volunteers were ensuring that more than 5,000 persons were fed. Now it was their time to be catered to.
We have about 120. 85% of those are volunteers. The other 20% are sponsors, persons who have helped us in some way, so we wanted to say thank you to them as well. Graycliff is very good friends of ours and good sponsors of given us an amazing opportunity here. They've given us an incredible discount, almost free of charge.
The Bahamas Feeding Network has been in existence for the last 6 years, and its founder, Frank Crothers, says he makes sure persons who need assistance get it.
I make a point to go out and actually see, not only here, but in the various areas we're working in. I'm there. How am I going to know what the needs are unless I go? And it's my pleasure to have a little fun today on this wonderful party hosted by our organization.
Patron Mrs. Patricia Minnis was thrilled to be a part of the event, encouraging others to give back.
Doing a great job in making sure that nobody goes to bed hungry. And I am just thankful to be a part of it and would encourage others to come and be a part of giving back, because it's that true love feeling to be giving back, coming here, watching so many people from all walks of life.
Fox Hill Member of Parliament Chanel Ferguson applauded the work of the volunteers.
They've brought them to one of the premier or the five-star restaurants in the Bahamas to say this is all for you because you've done this tremendous amount of work. And they do a tremendous amount of work. They get there on a Saturday, 3 a.m., 4 a.m. to start prepping, start cleaning chicken. As Philip Smith says, sometimes you're talking about 40 cases of chicken.
As for the glue that ensures the meals are prepped and the volunteers organized, Racina Scully.
Feel good, really good. You know, just seeing them around me and so forth, like, I don't want to leave from them because they are so faithful.
Jimenita Swain, ZNS Network News.
Stay close, we've got more right after this. You're watching The Morning Edition.
The Cacique Award honors persons who have demonstrated the highest level of achievement in the tourism and hospitality sector.
I nominate my granddaddy because tourism is his passion. Every day he drives his taxi and shows our visitors why it is truly better in the Bahamas. Honoring straw vendors, hoteliers, musicians, artists, photographers, airlines, and so much more. Nominate your choice today. Visit CaciqueAwards.com or your local tourism office. The 18th Cacique Awards will be held May 23rd, 2020, showing the world the Bahamas is still rocking.
And the Cacique Award.
And the Cacique Award goes to...
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, your hottest place on the planet for rims, tints, tires, and auto sales. We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Track Life, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires. Cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king. Blessed luck. That's how rough riders roll.
Welcome back. The New Year's Day Junkanoo Parade is just hours away, and once again, spectators can expect tight security as Royal Bahamas Police Force will be out in full force. Now, joining us live in studio with us is Police Press Liaison Officer Superintendent Shanta Knowles. Shanta Knowles, welcome to the Morning Edition.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So talk to us a little bit about your expectations at the New Year's Day Junkanoo Parade, security-wise. Are you guys going to be beefing up security at that parade?
Well, definitely. As in the past Junkanoo Parade, we've had a number of officers detailed to police or properly police that parade. And again, in this New Year's Junkanoo Parade, we have more than 300 officers posted along the parade route to properly police that parade. So persons can expect a heavy police presence, full security at this upcoming Junkanoo Parade.
So when spectators enter the parade grounds, what should they be aware of or look out for?
Well, they'll definitely see our presence there. You will feel our presence all over the island, of course, because we will not allow any part of the island to be unmanned. But you will definitely start to see our presence as you get to East Street and Wolf Road. And then again, as you get closer to the parade grounds, you will see intersections where officers are posted, and those officers will be responsible for conducting searches. So, as you go to the Junkanoo Parade, expect to be searched for any weapon or anything that can cause harm, injury to anyone.
Now, based on the, I guess, the Boxing Day parade, I know that there were some adjustments made at that parade. Will those adjustments continue into the New Year's Day Junkanoo Parade?
Of course, we will adjust as we go ahead. We were pleased with the performances of our officers at that parade. We had one minor incident that we were able to control quickly. We hope not to have any incidents in this upcoming parade, but we are prepared. We encourage persons who are coming out to the parade to come to enjoy the parade, not to be a nuisance to anyone or cause disturbance in any way, because we will remove you from the parade and deal with you according to law.
Now, these parades are huge. What is the resources and manpower like, I guess, for your team of officers to man both parades?
So we have officers posted at intersections. We have officers on patrols. And of course, we have officers who are roving in the crowd. So there are times that you would think that no police officer is in the crowd, but we have officers who will be walking through the crowd. So the safety concern, don't worry about it. Just come to Junkanoo, have a good time, come peacefully, come to enjoy the parade, not to cause a problem, and you will be fine. We want to also encourage persons out there not to disseminate information to create fear. This is our cultural heritage. We want everybody to come out and have a good time and know that the police is there to police the parade.
Any favorite Junkanoo group? Or you know to say?
You know, I wouldn't want to be a judge. I definitely wouldn't want to be a judge to any of those parades. I'm mesmerized by the sights and sound of all of them. I don't know how they do it, but no favorite at this time.
I know there was a murder overnight. Are you able to give us an update on that particular murder?
Well, what we know so far is, what I can say at this time is that shortly before 2 a.m., we were alerted to gunshots being fired at Robinson Road and 2nd Street, The Grove. When officers responded to that location, they discovered a man with injuries. He was, of course, confirmed deceased on the scene. And we are appealing to anyone who may have information that can assist with this investigation to give us a call on our Crime Stoppers line. The number is 328-8477, and Central Detective Unit numbers at 502-9991 or 2. Very early in the investigation, and we definitely need the public's assistance so that we can quickly solve this matter.
Where did the murder take place, and is the victim known to police?
At this time, I can't say if the victim is known. This occurred at 2nd Street and Robinson Road.
Shanta Knowles, thank you so much for joining us here on the Morning Edition, and best of luck into 2020 for you and your team of officers.
Thank you very much, and thanks for having us.
Not a problem. Weather could possibly be a factor in the New Year's Day Junkanoo Parade, and we also know that those groups had up to last evening to file any protests from the Boxing Day Junkanoo Parade. Kelsey Johnson is live with the Secretary of the Junkanoo Corporation of New Providence. Good morning again, Kelsey.
Good morning, LaDawn. Good morning, Bahamas. Once again, we're coming to you live from Rawson Square. We're counting down the days to a new year, as well as the pulsating sounds of the goatskin drum. The New Year's Junkanoo Parade is only about 24 hours away, and everybody is wondering if we're going to have rain, snow, sunshine, sleet. But I'm going to tell you that Miss Natasha Lightbourne-Dillett, she's here. She's going to fill us in with all the particulars. I can still get a ticket for New Year's Day Junkanoo?
Of course. Good morning, Bahamas. Definitely, we still have tickets on sale for the New Year's Day Parade. And so we're looking forward to persons coming in and purchasing their tickets before it gets too late. Of course, we have that car that we're raffling, and we have several television sets that we're raffling. And so we're just encouraging the public to just go ahead and purchase their tickets.
Do you think weather will play a part in this parade? I know Boxing Day, we had a 2-hour delay. Are we going to see another delay coming up?
Well, of course, we had our weather meeting on Sunday at 12 noon. And so, well, it's looking a little wet for the New Year's Day Parade. Of course, we have another meeting. We have to reconvene this evening at 7:30, so that we can actually see what the forecast and whether it has improved for the New Year's Day Parade. So we'll keep everybody posted. We have another weather meeting on New Year's Day. So as we get closer to the parade, we'll be checking the weather so that we can make a decision in terms of whether to push the parade back again or to postpone.
Groups get extra points for rushing in the rain, or are there penalties towards that?
Well, actually, once a decision has been made for all of the groups to parade, then all of the groups have to actually go, and so there aren't any extra points, etc., because the weather is unpredictable. And so all of us have to just go out there and just do our best to perform and to give a good showing to our customers.
Now, there's a little note going around social media, Facebook, WhatsApp, saying that the results from the Boxing Day Parade has changed. Is there any truth to that? And can you speak about the process in terms of protests?
No. Of course, there is no truth to that. And the process is once the unofficial results are actually read, what happens after that is 48 hours. The groups will have a meeting with the PMT where the PM Parades Management Team will issue credentials for them to have access to the electronic scoring platform, so they'll be able to see the scores. Thereafter, once they receive those credentials, then the groups have 48 hours thereafter to submit a protest. And so after that protest is launched, and that would have been Sunday at about 7:30, all protests for the Boxing Day parade had to be submitted, and that has to be submitted to the should have been submitted to the PA Parades Management Team. Once that happens, then it goes to the Independent Review Committee, and they have responsibility for reviewing, investigating, adjudicating those protests and making a ruling on it. Only then can scores be changed.
When can we see the official results for Boxing Day come out?
So after the IRC, the Independent Review Committee, has made a ruling, they've gone through their processes, they've made a ruling, and if they see that anything needs to be changed, then they will request that the changes be made by our accountants, and then those scores become the official results, and that normally happens like in early January.
Now, how can a group be penalized? What are some of the penalties a group can get? I know if you have too much cloth, that's a given.
Yes. So cloth, each, A division group is allowed 6 persons with cloth, so they would get a cloth number. And anybody that has cloth in excess of the 6 will incur a penalty. So it's a 1-point penalty for cloth. Obstruction, we've seen the obstruction penalty, that's a 10-point penalty. And so another one that we've seen is when groups go over the 70 minutes for parading from Frederick Street down to East Street. So there's a 70-minute time frame, and groups actually incurred like a 5-point penalty once they go over that 70 minutes.
Now, you spoke about obstruction, 10 points. What exactly is obstruction in Junkanoo?
So what we've done is we've defined the parade route. So that's the first thing we had to do, is define the parade route. That will not only be Bay Street or Shirley Street, that will also be the areas surrounding the actual main route. And as long as a group's costume breaks down, or for whatever reason they cannot move the costume, it's not mobile, and it causes or impedes another group from actually going on the parade or being able to parade or advance forward, that is what pretty much obstruction is.
People usually refer to the Boxing Day parade as the big parade. The scores the same, the penalties the same for Boxing Day as well as New Year's?
Yes. We have our parade rules document, and that covers Christmas/Boxing Day and New Year's Day parades. And so all of those, anything that's in that rules booklet, it carries through for both parades.
All right, thank you so much, Ms. Dillett. As you were told earlier in the broadcast, the Junkanoo Parade will go on. We're going to watch the weather, but we're also going to watch the traffic that will be happening or taking place in the downtown area. There are going to be some road closures. So joining me this morning live is the replacement for Sergeant Jerron Thompson, because he had a hard Christmas and he was unable to get up out of his bed this morning. So good morning. Thank you so much for making your debut here on the morning show. If you can just give us an update about the road closures for New Year's Eve heading into the Junkanoo Parade, as well as what has happened over the weekend in traffic.
Good morning, Bahamas. Over the 72-hour period for New Providence and the Outer Islands, we have a number of 76 murders reported to the police. There were 51 traffic accidents with only damages. 17 of those accidents involved injuries, and 8 of those were involved hit-and-run accidents. As it relates to the road closures for the New Year's Day Boxing Parade, at about 6 p.m. on New Year's Eve, the 31st of December, road closures will begin on Bay Street proper. There will be no parking allowed along the main Bay Street thoroughfare, Shirley Street, and all side corners in between.
Now, a lot of persons worry about the barricades that surround some of the bleachers. I'm seeing a number of persons actually ran into them standing here as well. Do you want to tell the driving public, to be a little bit cautious about not only the barricades, but other street signs as well?
That's correct. We advise all persons to pay attention to the streets, also the street signs, and also traffic lights, which are very vital during their travels. We also advise people that during Christmas season, we know that persons want to have fun and engage in alcohol and drinking and partying. We advise them to do so responsibly and to get a designated driver if they feel that they need to enjoy themselves during the holiday, and perhaps call for a ride if they are unable to maneuver through the streets.
All right, thank you so much. LaDawn, we've had a mouthful from the Junkanoo Committee as well as the traffic representatives. So we're going to toss it back into the studio so you guys can party the way out.
Thanks a lot, Kelsey. So, Jonathan, what's coming up in sports?
Well, Dawn, it's been a rough couple of weeks for Buddy Hield and the Sacramento Kings. They had a chance again last night to get back in the win column.
All of that and more ahead in sports.
Rugs, carpet tiles, ceramic tiles, floor mats, even vinyl flooring. Find them all at Wright's Carpet Masters, located on Burnett Road. Let them cater to your home or your office needs, and you can choose from a variety of carpets, floor mats, cashmere, oriental rugs, and area rugs. And if you can't come to us, we will bring the business to you, offering free estimates and deliveries to the Family Islands. Wright's Carpet Masters will get it right for you. Located on Burnett Road, telephone number 364-1260.
Life is filled with choices. Every choice we make has a consequence. Whether big or small, financial choices have more lasting consequences than most. When we make sound financial choices, we improve our relationship with money and set ourselves up for financial success. Visit GetMoneySmartBahamas.com and learn how to get money smart today.
Welcome to sports, everybody. Buddy Hield and the Sacramento Kings trying to end a 6-game losing streak last night in Denver against the Nuggets. Close ball game after the first quarter with the Kings only down 1. Nuggets got a little bit of separation going into the half, and that would be the difference. Denver holds on for a 120-115 victory. Kings now on a 7-game slide. Buddy 8 of 18 from the field, 3 for 9 from behind the three-point arc. He finished up with 20 points, 8 assists, and 5 rebounds in 36 minutes. The Kings with one more opportunity to right the ship before the new year. They have an early tip tomorrow at 5 p.m. when they return home for a matchup with the L.A. Clippers. Still on the pro hardwood, Shaquille Clear and Forcada in the win column last night in the Spanish Gold League. They took care of Palma 83-73. The Bahamian big man 9 of 11 from the field, also 7 of 9 from the charity strike, just short of a double-double, 25 points and 9 rebounds. On to the college hardwood now. Shalonda Neely back for the Jacksonville Dolphins after missing a couple of games. She was 6 of 9 from the field. She finished up with 13 points and 9 rebounds in 24 minutes. The Dolphins going on the road. They picked up an 87-83 win in overtime against Mercer. LaShawn Hicks, the 25th-ranked Texas Longhorns, also in the win column yesterday. This one a blowout, 91-49 over Northwestern State. LaShawn had 12 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists in 20 minutes. Former star player with the Doris Johnson Mystic Marlins, Malachi McCoy, currently in his freshman season with the Benedict Tigers in South Carolina. The season started out a bit slow, but of late, McCoy getting more playing time and proving he's worthy of the minutes.
It's always been a dream for me, to play at the collegiate level. And coming from high school, it's been a major transition because, the competition is very high. Like you are seen as at a high standard. So coming out of high school, coming under Coach Bowles and Doris Johnson, he transitioned us into, becoming the best we could actually be, and to venture out and go out and, live that legacy that he had seen it in us. It's been a great one. Thank God for all the opportunity that I've been through. That are coming.
The Providence Basketball Club's 18th annual Holiday Basketball Classic winding down this year. The senior girls getting an opportunity to play some more games as well. Yesterday, SAC's Big Red Machine on court with the C.I. Gibson Rattlers. SAC rolling to a 49-37 victory.
We played together as a team. We executed on defense, and then our offense flowed. We listened to Miss Mutri. They were getting down and gritty, so, we had to do the same. And then, God allowed us to come in with the win.
We had to listen to our coach. We had to cooperate with each other to pull off the win. SAC wanted a little more than us. They physical us, they out physical us. But at the end of the day, our girls played tough. We only had 6 girls. The rest of them kind of busy today. But at the end of the day, I was very impressed with the girls and how they played. But we just missed a lot of free shots and layups. And we missed some miscues in terms of on the fast break, not getting the ball to the right person. Other than that, they played hard. Hats off to them.
CI Gibson coach Kevin K.J. Johnson, who is also the tournament organizer, spoke about how it's been going overall.
Competition is tough, man. The level of competition is raised, and that's what high school basketball should be about. So, good tournament so far, and the high schools who are participated really enjoying it and getting better.
Rugby, definitely one of the more physical sports here in the Bahamas, but it's a close-knit community as well.
So everyone steps on the field, everyone's a brother. You know, we're going to fight for them, we're going to play for them. It's all about playing for the guy next to you. And then off the field, everyone, win, lose, doesn't matter the team we played against. We had a little hard time against them, and we all come together, we settle down, talk, party. Right now we're trying to build up the youth, and hopefully, you know, we get more youth players coming in, so that way we set a foundation for it later on.
Former football player Devar Darling in town for the holidays, giving back to the EMS personnel for the dedicated service in the aftermath of Hurricane Dorian. Darling says it brings him joy to see that other Bahamian athletes have also answered the call.
We have extreme pride when we go off to the U.S. and all over the world and compete, and we never forget home, you know, and to see everyone like Myron, like Buddy Hield and John Quill, all the athletes, Shawnee, to come back and give, you know, whether it's their money, whether it's their time. I seen Superman Science did a lot of things as well. So, like I said, we all have Bahamian pride, man, no matter where we are in the world. And we just want to come back and help out.
Pro boxer Sherman the Tank Williams said to step back in the ring early in the new year in Germany. He will take on African-born Jack Malawi in Hamburg. This will serve as the 10-round co-main event. Tank has been in training camp in Denmark and will look to improve on his record, which currently sits at 42-15-2. Bahamian descendant Philip Dorsett with an amazing catch yesterday for the New England Patriots as they tried to lock up a first-round bye in the playoffs. The Miami Dolphins weren't about to let that happen, though, and we can tell you the Dolphins would win 27-24 for Dorsett. That was his lone catch of the day, which went for 50 yards. The Patriots open up the playoffs this weekend at home against the Tennessee Titans. And that will do it for sports. The morning edition comes back after this.
We fuse the passion, the pride, and the rhythm of Junkanoo with the beer of the Bahamas to answer one question. Who are we? We are Junkanoo. Represent your group today and purchase a limited edition 16-ounce Collect Junkanoo can from your neighborhood 700 wines and spirits store or your favorite watering hole.
Hi, my name is Species 3651 Gerard Cum of the National Crime Prevention Office of the Royal Bahamas Police Force. Did you know that most robbers are just as nervous as you are? Therefore, it is important to always remain calm, think clearly, and cooperate with the assailant in order to preserve your own safety, as well as the safety of others. Here are a few safety tips for you to follow if you are ever an armed robbery victim. Do not hesitate or make any sudden moves. Robbers can be easily provoked or may be under the influence of dangerous drugs or alcohol, which can alter their perception. Always keep your hands in plain sight. Try to get a good look at the robber so that you will be able to recall vital information later, such as clothing description or any physical features such as scars or visible tattoos, and any type of accents. Give the robber time to leave. Do not give chase. Take note of his direction of travel when he leaves. Try to get a good description of a possible getaway vehicle only if you can do so without exposing yourself to harm. Immediately call the police afterwards. If the robbery took place at a business establishment, do not touch anything that the robber may have touched. Activate the panic alarm only when it is safe to do so. Remember that your personal safety is far more important than money or any merchandise. Should you become a victim of an armed robbery, or any other crime, or you have information pertaining to any criminal activity, please do not hesitate to contact Police Control Room at 919 or 911. On behalf of our Commissioner of Police and members of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year.
The natural resources of the Bahamas play a critical role in supporting Bahamian livelihoods. For example, the fishing and tourism industry, which include fishermen, seafood exporters, hoteliers, dive operators, restaurants, and others. Collectively, they generate approximately $1.5 billion a year. Therefore, we must respect and preserve what we have. These resources belong to us.
This is my livelihood.
This is my livelihood.
This is my livelihood.
So let's all do our part to maintain our local economy and a good quality of life. Remember, if we take care of nature, nature will take care of us.
If you are in a violent or abusive relationship, there is help for you. Reach out to a trusted friend or a pastor, the Bahamas Crisis Center, social services, and the police. Break the cycle. Know the signs. Have the conversation. Say no to violence against women.
Hey, long time no see.
You hear me?
Long time. No see.
Boiled fish, stewed fish, stew conch. I love it all.
Tourists come here to take our tours, experience our sun, sand, and sea, and they also spend money around town.
I used to see a bunch of hogfish around here, but nowadays, I hardly see any.
You protect one area, the fish do they thing, make a bunch of babies that spread all over the sea. What's the problem?
If we protect certain parts of our sea, it keeps all parts working right.
I was against that phase, but knowing what I know now, I totally agree with having marine protected areas.
I support marine protected areas.
We support marine protected areas.
Look for Bahamas Protected on Facebook.
Sign the petition. Sign the petition.
Our final look at whether that area of high pressure, which has been controlling our weather over the past several days, will begin collapsing today, and that will lead to some reduction in our winds, particularly in the northwest and central Bahamas, remaining a bit moderate in the southeast Bahamas ahead of this cold front, which is approaching right now. It's approaching northern Florida, slowly sinking towards the south and east. The leading edge of those clouds and showers already approaching the extreme northwest Bahamas. So Grand Bahama, North Abaco, and Bimini, later on today, they will start to get some cloudy periods with occasional showers in them. But by tomorrow, we expect that system to move very near the capital. Around 2 o'clock in the afternoon is when the precipitation models are suggesting that we should start getting some rains. And it's going to be off and on throughout the afternoon, heading into the nighttime hours. So that means it's going to pose a major problem for the Junkanoo Parade. We'll continue to monitor these. Every 12 hours or so, we'll get a new computer model come out, and we'll see whether or not there's some stability in those models. And if there is, it means that some of the decisions will have to be made with regards to the Junkanoo Parade. But until then, we can anticipate the arrival of this frontal system starting tomorrow afternoon, early in the northwest Bahamas, and that will continue to move towards the south and east. As far as our weather is concerned for today, we're looking at mostly sunny and warm, high temperature reaching up to about 80 degrees. And tonight we're looking at Partly cloudy conditions, a brief shower to developing late as that frontal boundary gets a little closer to the northwest Bahamas. The low temperature getting down to 71 degrees. And your extended weather forecast over the next 7 days, we have those showers into tomorrow, which we tell you is associated with that frontal system carrying over into Tuesday night. But by Wednesday, which is actually the 1st of January, we expect some beautiful weather to shape up in the afternoon with lots of sunshine. High temperature on New Year's Day around 79 degrees with a low of 71, and those sunshine days will continue right through the weekend. So a beautiful weekend shaping up. So if you have any plans for the outdoors activities on the weekend, this is a good weekend to go out there and simply enjoy. But the big news is weather will be a factor in the New Year's parade, so we'll keep you abreast on how things are developing there. LaDawn?
Thanks a lot for that information for the Junkanoo Parade this New Year's Day. And that's a wrap for us this Monday morning. For the entire Morning Edition team, I'm LaDawn Davis. Have a great day, everyone.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Season's greetings. Good afternoon. I'm Desmond Saunders coming to you live from the City Center, Russell Square to be exact, the site for the 2019 Royal Bahamas Police Force Band Christmas Beat Retreat. Scores are trickling in and still gathering here at the City Center for the start of this great event. Joining me on the broadcast this afternoon, Assistant Superintendent of Police, Dr. Andrew Hunter. Good afternoon, season's greetings. Give us an update and give us a rundown of what we can expect here this afternoon.
Good afternoon, Desmond. Good afternoon, Bahamas. Merry Christmas to all. The Royal Bahamas Police Force Band presents to you today Christmas on Broadway. And Christmas on Broadway simply means you're going to see some if you look, you're going to see some cheerleaders, kick feet, and all the stuff that you can think of Broadway. And we wanted to do the hat thing, but we didn't have time for that. But you can see a lot of that's coming at you. A lot of the stuff that when you think of Broadway, you think of the nice tight chords, the nice band ensemble. So you're gonna have that coming at you. We had some good arrangements done by locally by our band members of some of the best songs that are currently on Broadway right now.
And the band is being directed today by Superintendent Anthony Butler. How did you come about with this theme? This is more of an American-based theme.